Are we supposed to be this early or y'all?
I'm not positive. I'm not sure what the protocol is.
10 minutes?
So as a courtesy to your fellow media members as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. If you're joining us via Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We'll get to questions in the room first before getting to Zoom. Recording the press conferences via video is prohibited. You may record audio if you'd like. So we're going to start with an opening statement from Ole Miss head coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen.
I'd just like to thank the Notre Dame staff for just hosting us and just doing an incredible job. It was smooth sailing, and that hadn't been our experience every time. So I thought they really stepped up and made us feel at home, and everything was really well organized. Just want to congratulate Notre Dame. I thought that they control the game from start to finish. You know, you never want these moments to be in the way they are, especially when you're on the losing end, especially when you don't think your team displayed what they needed to display for 40 minutes. But nevertheless, you know, super proud of our group and grateful for this opportunity and this experience. Again, just recently, 4 years ago, we were 0-16, and now we've put ourselves in a situation to expect to go to at least the Sweet 16 every year. And so really disappointed as far as that's concerned, but not disappointed with the team and what we've accomplished this season.
All right, we'll now open up to questions for our student athletes, Madison Scott and Kennedy Todd Williams. So just go ahead and raise your hand. We have a microphone in the room.
Anthony Anderson, South Bend Tribune. For both ladies, I'm sure when you build your scout, you have a vision for how the game is going to go if you're going to win the game. Where or how did that go haywire, and how did Notre Dame contribute to that?
Yeah, I think it was just about executing on both ends, getting stops. I don't think, we did a good job at, getting stops, to help with our offense. But it's just something that we have to, be better at. And, yeah.
I just think they were the aggressors. on both ends, on defense. And honestly, they were the more connected team. They were talking. They act like they've been there before. And, we have, and we didn't act like it tonight, and they took advantage of it.
For both of y'all, what kind of changed in the second half? It felt like you kind of figured things out. What was different about the last 20 minutes?
It was just about being urgent, to get back into the game. That was really the main talk, and just getting back to our principles. But it was too late in the game to even do that. So, yeah.
When you think about what needs to happen in the next few months to get back to where you would want to be, your coach just talked about the Sweet 16. What comes to mind? What's next for y'all?
We're going to use the summer to get better. We're just going to get better and work. This is hard. It hurts. So, it's going to be on our minds for a while. But, we got to get back in the lab. We got to, get going. We got to continue to build. Because like Coach said, we're a program now that we're expected to go to the tournament every year. We're expected to go to Sweet 16 every year. We fell short, but – me and Toddy are both, returning. We plan to use it as motivation, come back and be better, and, just continue to get better and grow.
Kurt Rallo, Associated Press. I think at one point you only hit 4 of your first 17 shots. Can you talk about what Notre Dame's defense did to affect that?
Notre Dame is a great team. They're big, they're experienced, great players. And, their zone was very, very good. It challenged us in many ways, but a lot of it, sir, was us. I'm not even just saying that, but, we went against the zone all year. We played against zones. We knew the spots that we needed to get into. It was us executing, which we didn't do, So, we have a game plan, and when you don't execute the game plan, it makes it 10 times harder. So, credit to Notre Dame, of course, great team, but a lot of that was on us not doing our jobs, us not, doing what we were supposed to do.
For Toddy, I think Maddie mentioned it there. Is your intent to return next season? I don't think we've asked you about that yet.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Do we have any other questions for our student athletes? All right, thank you very much. Feel free to rejoin your teammates. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions for head coach Ulette McPhee-McEwen. So go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question.
Coach Kurt Rallo, Associated Press. Can you talk about Notre Dame's start and what they did to establish that tempo they wanted?
Yeah, I just thought that they were the aggressive team. Like I said, from start to finish, you never know what to expect with 17 to 24-year-olds. And if you had told me we would come out in the manner that we came out, I would have called you a liar. And so, I thought that they came prepared for a fight, and I don't think we fought. And so when someone's prepared for a fight and then you don't fight, someone's going to get beat up, And I was expecting a game where both teams would get beat up. I expected it to be low scoring. I expected it to be a grind-out type of game. Two teams that take pride in their defense. They're more zone, us more man, and they just got the better of us today.
Coach, you mentioned, the disappointment there of not getting back to the Sweet 16. I guess when you're evaluating your own program and where it's at, how do you kind of weigh the progress and the good things that you did in the regular season with, kind of like the one-game sample that the NCAA tournament is and not getting as far as you like to have gone?
Yeah, I didn't say I was disappointed with our performance this season. I said I was disappointed that we didn't get back to the Sweet 16 so that we could try to get another step ahead. If you've seen in the manner the program is built, we've gotten better every single year. Obviously, there are things that we can celebrate, from making history with 12 wins, finishing third place, and so on and so forth, with no point guard. All right? There are things that I want to celebrate for sure. And I thought we did a good job, because I know I'm disappointed and everybody else is, because we didn't come out and play in the manner we've been playing all season since we've, went on that 7-game winning streak. But, it's funny because you have, there's this narrative, oh, Notre Dame has 6, but if you have the right 6, it doesn't really matter. And they have the right 6. Westball, is that how you pronounce her? Westbeld is an absolute stud. I felt like she didn't even miss. And she carried them from inside, and everybody just did their job. And I know about having small rosters, because we had a small roster last year. When it came to how many people we played about 6, 7. And when you have a small roster, you are way more connected, because there's nobody that can sub in. There's nobody that can help. When you have big rosters, sometimes you 17 to 24-year-olds feel like, oh, I could just take a day off because someone else will come and help. But that team, that Notre Dame team, has been playing in the manner they've been playing in for a while now. And so, I didn't think that would be an advantage for us at all, because they're the ACC champs. You get what I'm saying? So, I have a lot of respect for them, and I thought they did a great job. I was just disappointed because, like I said, had we played in the manner that everybody knows that we're capable of playing, I thought the game would have been in the 50s. And then whatever happens, happens. And we just had to dig so hard. After halftime, I just told them, I don't even know who you guys are right now. It was just not our team and who we were. But I'm not going to let that rain on our parade. We live to see another day.
Any other questions for Coach?
Kurt Rollo, AP. Their big three combined for 56 points. Was there a plan to eliminate one of that combination?
Well, Kurt, the plan sure as hell didn't work. So I don't even want to say we had a plan, because then I'm going to look like I'm crazy, right? So I'm going to stick with no, we didn't have a plan. And they just really showed up. And I thought with, is it Westbeld? Yes. I thought what Westbeld said yesterday in her press conference was phenomenal. She said, when you have a big three, someone has to set the tone in that group. And we had a big three as well. Someone needed to set the tone in our group. And I just felt like all three of them said, you know what, we're all going to set the tone. And I didn't think all three of our big three set the tone early. And when that happens, anything can happen.
Coach, you referred to the other day when you beat Marquette, kind of the formula of it was a close game most of the way, but you wore them down. Mm-hmm. I'm sure today you would have liked to have seen it be closer. It's a little easier to play when you're up in the teens, by teen margins. Did their staying power, I know their cohesiveness didn't, but did their staying power, durability-wise, surprise you at all, or was that not necessarily tested today?
Guys, they're the 2 seed. They're the ACC champs. Am I not correct? Did they not just win an Atlantic Coast Conference championship with the same people? They're legit. So we didn't I thought we expected a fight. The disappointing part was someone got beat up and it wasn't them. They beat us up. And that's what's disappointing when your character and your reputation is to dictate and disrupt. So it's just an uncharacteristic night for us. And guess what? You don't get to see, when we would have these games during the season, we could talk about it and fix it. You don't get to fix it. you know, and so we get to go home, and I get to get in the portal and recruit, and that's how it works.
Coach, I apologize if you mentioned Hannah in your opening statement, but I'm curious, once you got to see her in person, maybe what's different than film, and how can you explain her effect on a team like this and a game like this?
She's as advertised. You know, I think one of the things that I appreciate with her is just her competitive spirit, and that's not something you can teach. That's something that was born inside of her. And she was completely relentless the whole time. And yeah, I mean, she can pass and she can score, but you can't teach what's inside of you. And so I think that's her greatest strength.
I know last year you really looked to add some scoring in the offseason. Do you have a feel yet for what this team needs to get back here next season?
I mean, we've been talking all year about, you know, what we need. Yeah, I would have loved tonight, if we're going to reflect and talk about it, I would have loved to have KK, but I'm sure they would have loved to have Olivia. You know, so, you know, but we're talking about what my team needs. And so we're just going to continue to try to get people that fit our defensive system and that can free us up a little bit more offensively.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, it's hard to look at it this way because it's so tough when you lose the NCAA tournament game, but incredible job sustaining last year's success. Top 3 SEC, made it back.
Yep.
Tournament lost to an awesome Notre Dame team today. You know, taking a step back from the loss, how you feeling? Very proud? Oh
yeah, I'm super proud of our group. You know, I'm not an advocate for home court games. I'm an advocate for neutral site games. And there is an advantage when you play at home. So one of the two things got to happen. We got to figure out how to be a top 4 seed, top 16, so we can have the same home court advantage. Or if you're going to go in someone's place and knock them off like we did last year, you need to have all cylinders clicking. And we didn't get to have that. But, yes, very proud of our team. Like I said, we have some historic things that we've done. And we got a lot of people returning. And, you know, just going to look forward to the future. I remember watching the Stanford game last night. They said that they had this game, their game last night, circled for the whole year. And they gutted it out and ended up beating Iowa State. Hopefully our team will do the same and make a run next season.
All right, thank you very much,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Really appreciate y'all.
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. via Zoom, please use the raise hand function for questions. We'll address questions in the room first and then get to Zoom if time allows. Video recording on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. We're going to get started with an opening statement from head coach Niall Ivey. So, Coach, go right ahead.
Well, this one is really, really special. Obviously, going to the Sweet 16 with this group, this is a special group. So all glory to God, number one. I mean, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot this season. We've had a lot of highs and lows, a lot of adversity. And to see this group just find a way to come together, to persevere through all of our adversity is something special. I'm so grateful to be a part of this. So thankful for the fans. I'm so thankful. It's 2 o'clock, I know. And we still had an amazing crowd. I mean, the last 6 weeks have just been magical with this group. The way that we're coming together, being able to accomplish going back to the third consecutive Sweet 16, which is not easy, is just phenomenal. So I'm so grateful, so blessed. And again, the big three, they really showed out today. We had Maddie Westbeld led us with 20 points, Hannah with 19, 7 for 9 on the free throw line, and Sonia double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and the last game, 29 points with a career high. Credit to everybody on the team. Our zone was fantastic. Nat played with such poise. Her presence was amazing. KK, AD, everyone contributed. Everyone got in the game, and it was just awesome. You know, I'm just so grateful, like I said. Thank you, Irish fans. Thank you, South Bend, for really showing up for us and showing up for women's basketball. Excited to dance, excited to go to Albany, and again, super grateful.
We'll now open it up to questions for student athletes, Maddie Westbeld and Hannah Hidalgo.
Eric Hansen, Inside ND Sports. Maddie, the other day you kind of mentioned in passing about the team meeting after the NC State loss, and now it's 10 straight wins. So now I'm really curious, what was the magic words in that team meeting that you said? And what did you say to your team today before you took the floor?
We just needed to make sure we were all on the same page. You know, we know what this name on our chest means. And I think we just needed like a reminder of what that was. It's grit, it's toughness. It's the little things that we need to do, and it started with practice. And so it was just everybody, you know, being a little bit tougher in practice and just setting the tone. And I think we all just got on the same page since then. And, you know, it took everybody from top to bottom. And before this game, I think it was just kind of same thing, lock into what we have and keep each other accountable, especially on the defensive end. So I think we did that to start the game.
And then Hannah, Coach McEwen said there's something about Hannah that it's not something you teach, it's what's inside of her. I wonder what is that drive that's inside of you? Can you describe it? What makes you so relentless?
What pushes me? Jesus Christ. You know, everything I do is to give glory to God, and so I go out, and that's kind of what my fight is for. Obviously, of course, my family too, but, you know, I fight for Christ, and, you know, that's the way I'm able to give my testimony is through basketball, and so I play with so much fireness because, you know, God has given me the ability to do so, and so that's what I go out and do.
Kurt Rollo, Associated Press. Hannah, can you talk about how you were able to set that tone right away and how important it was to be that aggressive?
Yeah, I was just locked in on the skin. I think we all were. I mean, we came out with this, you know, mentality that we were going to go on a 10-0 run, and, you know, we were just going to stop them from the jump. We know that we needed to, you know, hit them before they kind of hit us because they're a great team and, you know, they're really athletic. And so we were all just locked into the scout, and everyone was locked in on defense, and so I was able to be more aggressive, you know.
Jeffrey Clark, Fighting Irish Wire. Hannah, you've talked more than once this season. You just mentioned again how important your faith in God is to being a basketball player, and how important your trust in God is. How much more important does that become as you get deeper and deeper into this tournament?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, especially when it's getting, you know, it's win or go home, and we're getting so far in the tournament, it's like just having faith. You know, just putting our trust in God, even when, you know, all odds are against us with our injuries and, you know, being in foul trouble and not having so many players. Just having complete trust in God, and that's really all we can do. Just give it our all and just trust in Christ.
And Maddie, you did a pretty good job on Madison Scott today. So now as you look ahead to Oregon State, they've got a pretty good big in Reagan Beer. So what do you expect trying to stop her?
We were kind of locked into Ole Miss, so we haven't really watched the film yet. But I've been watching them during March Madness, and they look like a good team. Just like anybody, they're going to be really tough. So we just have to, trust in our scout, trust in our coaches to lead us there and just compete.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Maddie. John Bryce. You referenced a moment ago the team meeting and the grit and what it means for the name on the jersey. Anna today only had one rebound, but it was an offensive rebound, and then she took it and scored. Maybe how much does she embody the grit? And did you notice that at the time? Do you guys kind of feed off of her energy?
I think we noticed it when she first came in this summer. She is just fire. And she's an incredible player, just an incredible presence on the floor. And it starts with her defense. And, obviously we feed off of that. I tell her all the time, like, we feed off of you whenever you start. And so, she's unguardable. She's untouchable. She's just a different player.
Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. Maddie, you talked about the big three yesterday, and obviously you guys went off again today. But going off of that last question, what Anna does, and then there was a bucket that Nat hit that kind of looked like it defeated the opposition in the first half. I think it put you guys up by 19, and that was the moment it was like, okay, this is what it's going to be. So how important are those little plays that Anna makes, that Nat makes, that kind of complement what you guys do as the big three? Absolutely.
I think, like I said, it starts with one of us setting the tone. But I think Nat, AD, KK coming in, Becky, I think everybody just feeds off of that when they see that we are locked in and we're focused and, we're there to play, we're there to compete. I think everybody just, they come to play too. And, they set the tone too. Nat, I think, had the first bucket of the game. So it comes from all of us.
And then Hannah, 9 free throw attempts for you, 6 for Sony. You talked about the aggression a little bit, but I'm just curious how much better do you guys think you are when you are getting to the bucket and you're not only getting to the free throw line, but knocking down your free throws as well?
Yeah, that's big when we're able to be, kind of that aggressive. And it just makes us so much harder to guard because when we're driving, the defense has to start collapsing. And now we have shooters that are on the corners, on the wings, that are able to knock down those shots. And we've been doing a great job of, knocking those threes down. And so it's just a matter of continuing to be aggressive and, drawing the contact. And, of course, free throws can, determine the game. So it's just getting there and making sure we're knocking them down.
Maddie, you and Nat had a lot of success on that low post trap today, especially on the baseline. Was that something you were expecting to, see a lot and have to defend a lot? And, what do you make of your ability to kind of really keep on forcing, mistakes by Ole Miss in that specific situation?
Yeah, I think that's just trusting in our defensive tendencies. We knew that they were a driving team. I think that's why we went zone a lot, and we knew that they were going to try and drive it, try to force baseline, and force them into that trap. And so, yeah, we kind of premeditated that. We knew they were going to do it, and Nat was there every time as I led her into it. So it was really good.
Yeah. Matt Lucas, Goshen News. Hannah, I'm curious to know your thoughts on your 2-game debut in this tournament, freshman year. How do you feel? How do you evaluate your performance?
I don't know. I really don't evaluate my performance. I let everyone else kind of evaluate it. But I think I'm doing, a pretty decent job of especially just coming in as a freshman and kind of leading such a, phenomenal team. And obviously the energy from the fans is just different. So it's nothing like I ever expected, obviously, coming into this tournament. But I think we're doing a great job as a team of kind of handling it and just staying poised, obviously, in our home court.
You kind of previewed my next question. But, Maddie, you've been a freshman before. You've made a tournament debut before. How do you evaluate Hannah's performance?
Yeah, she's a game changer. I think her presence, like I said, on the floor is just different, and she sets the tone for us. Like I said, she's just a phenomenal player, phenomenal defender, and nobody could guard her.
Any other questions for our student athletes? All right, thank you very much. Feel free to rejoin your teammates, and we'll go ahead and open it up to questions for head coach Neil Ivey.
Thank you.
Coach Eric Hansen with Inside ND Sports. The zone was really tough right out from the get-go. Were you thinking you'd have to change defenses at some point, or were you just going to ride that until they found an answer for it?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I knew we were going to come in with the zone because they're so athletic, and it worked. It was working, and I just stood with it.
And then, Hannah, if I remember right, during the recruiting process, you went all the way to Hungary to watch her in a USA game, and she wasn't committed, maybe hadn't even taken her final visit.
No.
When you were watching her over there, and it looked like it paid off for you, did you have any sense that she would be this ready as a freshman to come in if she ended up at Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, she separated herself in the recruiting process. For her, like Maddie mentioned, like she does so many things. She plays with such aggressiveness, and her defense is so electrifying. She's dynamic on both sides of the ball. So I felt like every time I watched her and recruited her, that she separated herself from the recruiting process the entire time. So not surprised. Obviously, her consistency as a freshman has been phenomenal. You know, being an AP All-American as a freshman is something that is incredible, and she's led the NCAA in steals. She's led this ACC in scoring and in steals. I mean, it's just phenomenal what she's doing and what she's done this season. So watching her, you know, I knew that she was going to be special here at Notre Dame, but she's exceeded my expectations because of the consistency in what she does.
Last one for me, I think Nat was up to a career high in minutes today, and she had 5 assists.
Yes.
Including that whip pass for the 3. You mentioned how poised you thought she was. What did you particularly like about her game today besides the poise?
Yeah, I mean, Nat does things that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. She doesn't have to score 20 points. She does a lot of things that, again, you know, kind of just the unsung hero. You know, her presence, just altering shots. You know, we're small. We're small at times, so she does a lot of physicality inside. You know, they had a lot of bigs there, and I thought that she was just solid defensively. She understands the offense. She's very smart, and I think she does a great job of setting screens, posting up, and she just takes advantage of the opportunity. She had 5 assists and 0 turnovers, which I think for a post is huge. So not only is does she have defensive presence, she's making things happen on the offensive end, which I'm really proud of her for that because she's stepping up in a very, very big role, and she's succeeding. Excuse me.
JD Post, The Observer. Hannah and Maddie touched on this a little bit, but I wanted to get your take on it. You know, talk about the players outside of your big 3. You know,
Yes.
what do they bring, be it on the stat sheet, off the stat sheet? You know, Anna, KK, Nat, you know, obviously not usually huge scorers.
Yes.
What do they do that make your team tick?
We wouldn't be in this position without every single person on this team. We have 7, 8 healthy players. Everyone does something, and every night someone does something special for us. AD, her experience, her ability to shoot the 3. She's so crafty, so smart. She does a lot of little things. She's unselfish, and you know, she brings so much energy to our team. KK, again, she plays the 1 through 4. She had a little bit of foul trouble today, but I know I can count on her. She has a high IQ. She does whatever we ask, and she's unselfish. Becky as well. Obviously, Becky's going to get a little bit more minutes. She's hasn't played as much, but when she comes in, she does what I need her to do. And Sarah, she's just the crowd favorite. So everyone has a vital role, and at this point, you have to be great at your role, and everyone is great at their roles right now. And I'm really appreciative of everyone. No matter how many points they score, everyone is a valuable piece of this success.
Just follow up on KK specifically. How important has she been, you know, now without Kylie, your post step's a little weaker, to have a player like her that can, you know, guard 4 positions and use in a variety of ways?
It's huge. You know, I think of her as a Jackie Young in the past as far as being able to run the point, but also go to the 4 if I need her to. She's an all-purpose player, very versatile, and she does a lot for us. And every game, her position changes, and she's done her job very well.
Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. Getting back to Hannah for a minute, Coach Yo was just in here, and she spoke highly of just like the will that she has, the relentlessness. Not saying that everyone else doesn't have that, but I'm curious, how much more of that does she have, and like, how can you guys kind of channel that in a way that might advance you past the Sweet 16, which is, you know, where this road has stopped for you guys the last couple of years?
Right. I think her will is what makes her special, and because of her will, I mean, she steps on the court, she has no fear. And so when you have a point guard that's playing with no fear, everyone is confident around her because of that. And I think hopefully in the next 40 minutes, that helps us get a little bit further. Just having somebody with that type of presence, that type of swag. At this point, it's confidence that gets you to the next round. And she carries that confidence with her, and it's contagious. And I think that's going to really help us as we're playing Oregon State.
You spoke of Ole Miss's athleticism, and Hannah mentioned wanting to punch him in the mouth 10-0 from the start. it really looked like you guys wanted to match athleticism for athleticism at the
Yeah.
beginning. So how big was the dribble drive game and, like she said, setting up all of that other stuff? Because it seemed like the offense was flowing from the very beginning, and that was kind of the key to the whole 40 minutes.
Right. For us, we're a pace team. We're better in transition. We like to run. We like to play fast. So did Ole Miss, and so that was the goal: get out and run, make them defend us. But we needed to get rebounds, so that was a big key for us, is to rebound out of the zone. I thought the zone could try to contain them, and then if we got rebounds, we could run, and that's what happened right from the beginning. So they knew we were going to come out, or our goal was to come out very aggressive offensively to really, really push pace, and they did that. But I was really impressed with our defense. I thought our zone was, they were so locked in on the scout. They knew where the shooters were. They did a great job of rebounding, put us up to 19, and then I thought that just kind of gave us confidence throughout the game.
Jeffrey Clark, Fighting Irish Wire. Coach, you probably don't like to give labels to your players, but we know Hannah can score and steal. We know Maddie can rebound and play in the post. But as far as all-around game, I mean, is it even debatable that Sonia is up there?
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest, I don't think we talk about her enough. Sonia Citron is unbelievable. She's so amazing. She's so poised. She doesn't need the spotlight. She just is. She's a star. And I'm so grateful for her leadership, everything that she's brought the last 3 years, and especially right now, battling an injury early on. Go through what she went through adversity-wise, and has changed our program when she came back. So I agree. She's one of the best guards in the country.
And how good is it to be able to get Sarah into an NCAA tournament game?
That was awesome. I just love Sarah, and first of all, she's really improved. She's like most improved to me on our team. She comes in every day. She works so hard. She's in getting her shots up right after we beat Kent State. She was in the gym the next morning getting shots up on her own. I mean, she's just a phenomenal young woman. She just does a lot for us that you don't really know as far as just practicing and making us better in practice, but she's also just a great, fantastic person.
Any other questions for Coach Ivey?
Hey, Coach, John Bryce. Ole Miss players and coach said that they expected a fight for both teams today, but they were the only team that got beat up. And I noticed you all were able to draw a foul on Ole Miss basically in the first 30 seconds of all 4 quarters, including a charge in there. How important was it not only to set that tone from the outset, but to set it at the start of every quarter?
That's a great stat. I didn't know that, but the mindset was to attack. That was my mindset. At this point, anything can happen in March. I wanted to be the aggressor, and I was really proud of this group of having the confidence to do that. I think the ACC prepares us. We've seen Louisville twice, NC State twice, like very athletic teams, very aggressive teams, so we were prepared to go against their athleticism, and I was really proud of the confidence that we came out with.
And then in the third quarter, I believe you had 7 assists on 8 made baskets. How much does that maybe reflect everybody playing a role and maximizing the sum of the team?
Yes, I mean, that's exactly what it is. We love to share the ball. We're always working on reads, seeing the person that's open. It's never a one-sided offense. This ball moves very smoothly. I give them a lot of freedom, but we've learned how to play with each other. And I'm really impressed by the improvement of our offense. And it changes, depends on the defense, but I love how we're playing and sharing the ball. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of luck in the Sweet 16.
Thanks. Can I have this?
Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us, and thank you all for your coverage over the last 4 days here in South Bend.